New Zealand PM Jacinda Ardern has said there were no signs of life on White Island following a volcanic eruption. She said the focus was now on recovery and to return loved ones once the island was safe. 13 people are presumed to have died, 5 of those are confirmed dead and 8 are still missing on the island. The volcano erupted on Monday as tourists were visiting the popular attraction. 34 people survived, with most of them still receiving treatment in hospital. Among those hit by the eruption are people from New Zealand, Australia, Germany, China, Malaysia, the US and the UK, according to police. To those who have lost or are missing family and friends, we share in your unfathomable grief in this moment at time and in your sorrow, Prime Minister Ardern said. She said reconnaissance flights landed on the island but saw no signs of life. The helicopter pilot, as I understand, physically moved around the island rather than just an aerial survey and did so for some time and so brought back that report that unfortunately there were no signs of life. Police Deputy Commissioner John Timms said police would commence a criminal investigation into the death and injuries on White Island. Who was on the island? Visitors from several countries as well as locals are among the missing and injured. Police said a total of 47 people had been on the island when the disaster happened on Monday afternoon local time. They were 24 visitors from Australia, 9 from the US, 5 from New Zealand, 4 from Germany, 2 from China and 1 person from Malaysia. The first victim to be identified is tour guide Hayden Marshall Inman, a local of nearby town Whakatane, who according to New Zealand media has been named by his brother on Facebook. Another tour guide from New Zealand, 24-year-old Tiffany Manji, is among the missing with his family telling media he had been called in on his day off. 2 British women were among those receiving treatment, said the UK High Commissioner to New Zealand, Laura Clark. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said he feared 3 of the 5 confirmed dead were Australian. Mr. Morrison said that 24 Australians were on board a cruise ship exploring the island in the Bay of Plenty when the volcano erupted. Of those, 13 people had been hospitalized and 11 were unaccounted for, he said. This is a terrible tragedy, a time of great innocence and joy interrupted by the horror of that eruption, Mr. Morrison told reporters in Sydney. Ms. Ardern acknowledged the apparently high number of Australian victims. Can I say to our Australian family, there are no 2 countries closer and we are devastated at what has happened here and particularly want to acknowledge those from Australia who have been caught up in this horrific incident, she said. A web page has been set up by the New Zealand Red Cross for families to register missing loved ones. What happened at the volcano? White Island, also called Wakari, is the country's most active volcano. Despite that, the privately owned island is a tourist destination with frequent day tours and scenic flights available. The volcano erupted in 2 explosions in quick succession at around 14:11 Greenwich Mean Time, on Monday, sending up a thick plume of ash and smoke. A live feed from the volcano showed several visitors inside the crater before the stream went dark. According to Ms. Ardern, there were 2 groups on the island at the time, those who were able to be evacuated and those who were close to the eruption. Some survivors were rescued by boat in the immediate aftermath of the explosion, but police said it was too dangerous to mount a rescue operation. But later private helicopter rescue missions picked up several people from the island. Speaking on Tuesday morning, Prime Minister Ardern paid tribute to helicopter crews who had flown to the island on Monday to bring people out despite the dangers. I want to acknowledge the courageous decision made by first responders and those pilots who in their immediate rescue efforts made an incredibly brave decision under extraordinarily dangerous circumstances in an attempt to get people out, she said. Since then, emergency services have been unable to search the area because of dangerous conditions, with plumes of smoke and ash continuing to rise above the volcano on Tuesday.